Okay, today we're playing a game on Volskaya Industries. We are in the Diamond SR range, and we will be playing Mercy, Orisa, and Zarya. I do not remember the distribution of those heroes, because this video is 34 minutes long. I will endeavor to never push the pause button, or we will be here for an actual 1,000 years. Our current team composition is Reinhardt, Zarya, Hanzo, Mercy, Zenyatta, and Bridget. We've got a Zenyatta, we got a Hanzo, and we got a Zarya. Perfect. Let's start the game. So we are defending first. We will do a fair bit of defending in this game. It's a 2 CP map. It can kind of go either way. Or a very long time, I should say. You know, go back and forth a few times. The end score, I think, has a 6 in it. You know, it's that kind of arrangement. So we got a scuffle happening over there. And we can't res either of these people that have died, because we will die doing so. And tragically, we lost Reinhardt. He looked like he started stepping slightly too far forward, and then ended up getting punished by, you know, their very punishy team composition. Because, like, look at that. Look at all of these heroes that can punish you, right? They even managed to take the first checkpoint with the fucking Roadhog Zarya as their combo of tanks. Proof that team composition doesn't mean shit. Even in Diamond. But, like, Doomfist, Ana, Genji, Roadhog, all of these people are pretty good at punishing people. And we'll probably get harassed a lot as Mercy against a team like that. Let's never pause again. This video's gonna be long enough anyway. How do I play Ryan like you, staying alive for so long? Good shit talk right there, quality. So, they've captured the first checkpoint. You know, it's Volskaya Industries. The first checkpoint's pretty easy to capture. The second checkpoint can be difficult to capture, or very easy to capture, because it's a 2 CP map. So, Reinhardt has overstepped his boundaries again, and we cannot res him, or we will die. Doomfist is jumping down on us, and we did not get out of the way in time. I'm gonna go back for this one really quickly. Because do we step further back? Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, even if we go over there, that's not necessarily a safe position, but we did not react in time and ended up getting killed. Mercy is one of the harder ones to dodge Meteor Strike with, so that's not exactly shocking. Ryan, please, not so aggressive. Oh, look, Ryan's dead again. So, you know, we've been playing Mercy this whole time. There's not really a lot we kind of done about this one, because people kept dying, like, Reinhardt kept dying in places we couldn't res him, and, it's Diamond, so people kind of know how to play their heroes, so we got punished for Reinhardt throwing, basically. Reinhardt has unparalleled throwing power, I would know. So now we're playing Zarya. That might be the only time we actually play Mercy in this entire game. I don't honestly remember, to be honest with you, so I might have lied by including Mercy in the thumbnail. Oh look, Mercy's dead. So that's a good start to this push-in right here. We didn't get any charge off of our projected barrier, so... Is the E called the projected barrier, or are they both called the projected barrier? Surely not. We didn't get much charge. I was not paying attention. I apologize. So I gotta go back and watch this one again. Reinhardt died again. And now they're like, we can kill him. Well, far as like, we can kill him. So we ended up dying again. I would have, like, honestly, after the first round, I don't know if you play Reinhardt offhand, but after that first round, I would have taken Reinhardt off of that guy. Reinhardt is one of those heroes where if you've just determined in the first couple of rounds that the person playing Reinhardt is really bad, don't be afraid to snipe that Reinhardt off of him between rounds, because Reinhardt's a pretty important hero, and boy can he throw, basically. So Widowmaker's just managed to kill both members of the pharmacy, so that's very convenient. We've ended up getting... she's even killed the Ana. Fuck, Widow's killing a lot of people right now. But then we end up getting killed by Hanzo. I don't know how Reinhardt died in that one. Probably died before we got in the gate, based off of previous estimations. This is the problem, is that I don't want to pause or go back because the video's already long enough, but I have this issue of paying attention. So, I tend to go off in my own little world sometimes when I start on a train of thought. I don't know if you've noticed. I just kind of like go off in my own direction quite frequently. So we've captured the first checkpoint, and now we gotta capture the second checkpoint. We're not gonna get to like snowball this one across because our first capture wasn't very good. And oh look, Season 10. We do not have a Zenyatta anymore, so Season 10, you know. On the bright side, they've used their combo. On the dark side, though, we don't have a combo. Because our DPS are Widowmaker and Reaper. And, Death Blossom Graviton is not a very good combo, because Reaper has to physically put himself in the Graviton, which makes it a lot less good, because he can kind of die for that one. So Reinhardt, he's finally managed to do something. He's managed to actually land an Earth Shatter. Oh no, Nano Blade. There's not much you do about that one, is Zarya, either. If we had Graviton already, we could have just tried to dump it on the Genji to kill him, or keep him from killing anybody else, but Nanoblade came at us while we were trying to deal with Hanzo, then we got put to sleep in front of the Nanoblade, so it was like, as free for him as it could possibly be. Now, shockingly enough, however, we're capturing the checkpoint anyway. It is, however, a 2CP map, so, you know, it's getting stalled out a little bit. We've gotten over here with Graviton, though. Still don't have a combo to use it on. We could have honestly just chucked it over there in the archway to keep them from touching the point at all, because they were all hovering around the back side of the point. So if we throw the grav over there, we could just, like, suck all of them off of the point, and they wouldn't be able to touch it. But instead we threw it down on the point, and, like, you know, we were probably going to capture that checkpoint regardless of what we did, but we could have, Graviton, you can just use it to keep people off of the objective in overtime. We only needed one tick by that point anyway, so Graviton is long enough to get you that before they can get back on it again. So we finished with less time, but still quite a bit of time, so we still have to attack first. And I believe we have the exact same team composition as we did previously. Don't fix what ain't broke, as they say, you know? So, we didn't get much charge off of that first one, then we got 0 charge off of the second one. That's a bad start, because, you know, ideally we get 40-40, and then we just go through and, like, win the first fight. Reinhardt's dead again, so that's very nice. Mercy's rezzed Bridget, so she can probably die again. Yep, Bridget definitely wants to die again, based off of that one. Mercy has, however, killed Genji. I made you, Genji. I can destroy you as well. And even though Reinhardt died, like, somehow, right, like, fucking somehow, they managed to throw that fight badly enough we got through the door, even though we lost, like, all of our team on the initial push. How convenient. And so we get to capture the first checkpoint, and we have most of Graviton built up as well, so everything went a lot better than expected right there, didn't it? 2CP is a stupid fucking match. It's match type, isn't it? So Bridget's just used Rally all the way over here. That's not a good idea. She should have used that one when we're, like, at the gate or, like, closing in on the gate. Because ideally with Rally, you get everybody to full health or close to, then you start a team fight, and bam, you can benefit from the regen of the armor inside the fight. Since they nerfed the amount of, armor you can get off of Bridget's ult, it's less good to use, like, way in advance of a team fight. So we got Earth Shattered and Dragon Striked. Dragon Struck. That's how the game is, you know? Basically. On the bright side, they use their Dragon Strike and their Earth Shatter, so that makes the next push easier for us, especially since we've almost got Graviton built up. There's just not much, there's nothing you can do about that kind of situation as Zarya. She doesn't have the tools to deal with that. So, alright, look. Building up charge has been an issue so far. How did we what do we do with our E right here? We just threw it on Reinhardt for, like, no reason at all. He took some damage from the fire strike, and then we were just like, projected barrier. It did nothing. So we're like all the way out here. Yeah, Hanzo's firing at us, I guess, but like that's not gonna likely to get that much charge off of you. That one was fair enough, but now everybody's getting killed by Nanoblade again. Look at that, one cut, we're basically dead. How about that? There's just nothing you do about that, as that's both of our pushes on this round so far, and like the 2 pushes on the last attack as well, it's just like, when the enemy team does that to you, you're meant to lose that team fight. So there's just honestly not much you can do about it. Especially someone like Zarya, who is dependent on building up charge and actually requires teammates around her to really get anything done. So their Hanzo got picked off, but he got res by Mercy. So that means her res is down while we're coming in on this push, though. Stand in the dragon when you're doing that, just so you get, like, a little bit extra charge off of it, basically. Graviton them. Hooray, we walk in, we start killing them. We really want to try and finish off the Reinhardt right here, but if I go back for a little bit, Mercy's, like, segregating herself way off on the left side of the point. This dude's fucked regardless. I'd rather we go over and start trying to kill the Mercy instead, seeing as she was off by herself. Bare minimum, she'll GA away from us into the rest of our team, since they were currently bullying Reinhardt, and he was the only person she could have GA'd to. So if we just went on Mercy, either we kill her, or she flies into our team and dies. Either way, right? Same thing. Reinhardt was almost certain to die without our input right there. Alright, so Dragonblade is happening. We put the barrier on Mercy just to make sure she doesn't die to it, which is fair enough. It's generally bad to use your bubbles on somebody predictively, because it can easily end up in you getting no charge. But putting it on the Mercy when the Genji is using Dragonblade is definitely fair enough. We know who the Dragonblade is going to be aimed predominantly at, right? It's the healer. So, 2 CP is happening right now. I'm sure you've noticed. Fucking just put the laser over Mercy's head. Now, the cool thing about this kind of situation is that it's really easy to maintain high charge during this kind of scramble. So, makes life really easy when you're playing Zarya. We're gonna get there eventually. We got there eventually. Hooray. So we're up to 6 points. No, we're not up to 6 points yet. We're up to 4 points. I swear we get up to 6 points. Like, it was fucking long. So now we're playing Orisa, which is a bit of a jump from Zarya, but Reinhardt, I would have 100% sniped the Reinhardt off of that guy, because he's bad, right? I don't feel like he's done basically anything this entire game, except for that one Earth Shatter he landed that was pretty good. So to be fair, the Earth Shatter's the important thing, but like, come on. Yank fucking Doomfist back down from like 1,000 miles away. Stop his fun, block the punch right there with Fortify, so basically, Doomfist got fucked as hard as he could possibly get fucked right there. So when you're in this kind of, like, long, like, they're not very good at breaking our barrier, right? So when you're in this kind of, like, neutral poking back and forth phase as Orisa, that's when, like, firing your shield straight up into the air starts to pay off, because you just get as much value out of the cooldown as possible, because the cooldown starts ticking as soon as you fire it, but it doesn't replace your actual barrier until it lands on the ground again. So when things are like in the neutral poking back and forth phase, that's when doing the straight up in the air maneuver pays off as Orisa, because otherwise your shield can just sit there on cooldown for a really long period of time, which isn't a super effective use of or efficient use of company resources, I should say. You can get punished for that, because if you do that at a bad time, like they decide to engage, like if you do it right before they decide to engage a fight, you can get punished for that, because then you can't move your shield when you might need to, but that's part of the skill of playing Orisa, is knowing when you're in that position. So, fight's breaking out, we put the bongo down. This is, like, we should employ egg strats right there and stand over it, because Zarya had spotted the bongo and she was trying to break it. She was the only one trying to break it, though, so we could just sit over it with Fortify and protect it. Egg strats with the bongo are typically a last resort kind of thing. You don't want to do it unless you have to, but right there we could have just stood over it with minimal risk and prolonged the prolonged the bongo for as long as possible, because the bongo is quite strong as far as ultimates go, especially damage boosts, but you don't want to do it if you can at all avoid it. I don't know how Reaper didn't die to that to the meteor strike right there. I guess he probably got bubbled or something like that. Either way, it's going really well. Finally, a team has learned how to defend on this map, right? So now we're just going to wait for them to regroup. I'm going to type over here real quick while we're waiting for that. So now they have a Junkrat. They've gotten a lot better at breaking our barrier suddenly. Again, we can still do the straight up in the air strats, but you gotta be real careful about it still, especially when they have someone that can break the barrier relatively quickly, like Junkrat. Because then if you do it while the barrier is like low health, he can just suddenly break it, and then you've got to wait for it to land again. But suddenly their offense is starting to fall apart. Now suddenly, not too much is actually happening suddenly. We're just kind of sitting here having a great time. That's the thing with, like, when the match goes, like, multiple rounds like this. One team eventually just gets, like, fatigued, and it all starts to fall apart. Because they had all the advantages originally, right? Don't put the bongo down right there, it's never going to survive. We end up just wasting it, because they're just, like, collapsing on us, and we put it down right in front of them. They just break it. One team always ends up getting fatigued in these really long matches, and, like, they were winning, right? Like, they had the huge time advantage, and now suddenly they can't get through the first checkpoint anymore, even though they captured it within a minute originally. So, 2CP is that way, you know. It's a very depressing game mode, and that's why Horizon has great potential for lasting, like, fucking 30 minutes. So, Reaper and Bridget just got picked off right at the start of this fight, and they've got ultimates to use. They're gonna capture the checkpoint in that situation. I don't think there was really anything we could have done to save them, really, as Orisa. Orisa not so good at stopping people once they start getting collapsed on, except by killing the person, but Bridget doesn't strictly kill people that quickly either. So we lost the first checkpoint, that's fine. The first checkpoint's harder to defend, so after that debacle on the first checkpoint, I would be fairly hopeful for this one, especially since we have a few ultimates to use on this checkpoint right here. They have a Reaper, which is scary to us as Orisa. Shield blocks the shockwave on Meteor Strike, so and Earth Shatter, which was what I was about to say. But unfortunately, this is like the thing that Orisa struggles with dealing with, and that is our whole team is just like getting dove around us, and our only options to save them from that are halt and kill the person, right? There's not much Orisa can do beyond that. I would change off of Orisa right now. She's really bad at this kind of like stalling out situation right at the end. We should have changed to someone like Diva instead. This is why I don't think Orisa is a good main tank, because when that kind of thing is happening, she's really bad at being a main tank, because she just doesn't have the kind of presence necessary to actually, like, zone people off, right? Unless you're an absolute god and land nothing but headshots, but someone like Reinhardt, you can just beat the fucker to death, right? Like, and Reinhardt's shield more easily maneuverable than Orisa's. I just find that he is way better at dealing with that kind of dive situation than Orisa is. That's why. Now, if it's like one kind of like deathball comp versus another deathball comp, that's where Orisa's really strong because of the renewability of her shield. But if the enemy team is just gonna dive you and play aggressively, Orisa really struggles to deal with that. It's just like, you look around at your whole team being dove, and it's just like, well, what can I really do about that one? You could argue Reinhardt isn't much better in that situation, but a man that can just do 175 damage in the span of like a second will do a lot to put off a diver. So, it's like basically guaranteed. So, now we've got to attack again. Both teams don't really have very much time left. Hanzo has managed to pick off their Ana, and now Farah has managed to pick off their Hanzo. I have also noticed that the Farah was our Reinhardt previously. Thank God he's not playing Reinhardt anymore. So, 2 picks right at the start of this engagement means we get to win the engagement. That's just kind of how Overwatch is. Hooray! So we've won the first checkpoint very resoundingly. So that means we've got a huge ult advantage over them right now. We don't currently have any ults built up. Let me go back and look at that one, because this is important information right now. Farah almost has hers, and Reinhardt almost has his. Reinhardt's going to get his in, like, a fire strike and a couple of swings, and Farah's going to get hers real quick, because she builds mad ult charge. So, they've got, like, nothing. They're not going to have anything close, because they lost so soundly. So, hopefully we can just, like, snowball this one across. Because if Farah and Reinhardt get their ultimates, that should be enough, because the enemy team are unlikely to build up any in this time. They might build up, like, 1 or 2, but that's the thing when you lose the fight so soundly. You don't get to build ult charge. Farah died behind us, but I believe we have a Mercy. Like, she should be able to res that. If we don't have a Mercy, that's very upsetting. We do. Okay. Took her a while, but she got there. Reinhardt built up Earth Shatter. That means she immediately died. Hanzo built up his ultimate, which killed. Well, Zenyatta's managed to build up his ultimate. Look at that. That's textbook snowball. Everybody's managed to build up their ultimates very quickly. They don't have any ultimates to fend us off with, especially since a couple of them have actually changed heroes. So that means we get to start winning the fight. 2 CP is currently happening. Now it's getting scary because they're probably getting close to having their ultimates built up, but we are, like, winning very resoundingly still currently. This 2 CP is happening right now. We've got Graviton built up. If we see, like, the group of them coming out of one way, we can just stick it out there and stop them. They're coming over that way, lob it over there to stop them. Doesn't even get there. Easy peasy. So now they have to attack, and this is where you're feeling pretty good about the game, right? They've got 1.5 minutes to capture both checkpoints to not lose, and that's not a lot of time. If the exact same thing happens to us that just happened to them, or the same thing that happened to us in round 1, it'll happen, but I'd be feeling pretty good about it right now. Looks like, yep, some amount of e-bullying is happening in the chat. Always good. When the enemy team starts tilting, that's easy money right there. So they have a Reinhardt, we also have a Reinhardt right now. Again, shield strats, straight up in the air, straight back down again. They weren't allowed to do that, is the straight answer to what happened right there. Just try and get that person. Yep. Didn't work, but it's worth the try. Now they've only got 50 seconds left and they lost the first fight. Moira's trying really hard to stagger herself. We could have gone, like, a little bit harder for that one because half their team is still dead. And as, you know, Fortify right next to our gate, we could probably get away with it. But, you know, at the same time, we don't really want to risk throwing either right now. Just bully that guy to death. Now we can bully her to death as well. Hooray. We do end up dying. Reinhardt's killed himself. We've actually managed to get through most of this video pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna go back real quick and look at this one. Because I'm wondering how we died, honestly. We just got hit a lot by Anna, basically. So I know that, like, we want to finish her off, which is why we're firing, like, constantly. Orisa moves a lot slower when she's firing. Oh, the orb was bouncing around us as well. If somebody gets out of your line of sight, you're usually better off stopping firing to get in there quicker and then start firing again. I get what was happening. We're just like, I want to kill this lady as soon as she comes into line of sight, but when you're playing Orisa, sometimes you have to stop firing to actually get somewhere quickly enough, right? Like, people when they're backing away from a fight, they just keep firing the whole time, but, like, that just means you're never getting away from them. Sometimes you have to stop firing to actually get away. So they captured the first checkpoint. That's sad. We do have... Back up. We do have some ultimates. We have... Dragon Strike, we're about to have Tac Visor, we're about to have the Bongo, and we're about to have Valkyrie, so that's probably going to be enough, especially since a couple of them have actually changed heroes I saw off that screen as well. Bongo and Tac Visor, pretty strong. And then there's going to be Dragon Strike there as well. It's pretty good. The Bongo is a really good, like, damage-boosting ultimate. It's just, unfortunately, also very fragile, so it's a little bit awkward to use. We just put it down right here, right at the start of the fight. Doomfist breaks it with Meteor Strike. Feels bad, man. A similar situation is happening where there's a lot of diving heroes on their team right now, and there's not much we can bring to stopping that other than just sitting over here and shooting at people and, like, using Halt as well. Like, Halt Tracer, Kill Tracer, hooray. And as we can see, they aren't going to capture this checkpoint. Yeah, it's not, they're all losing, they're all dying, can't be done, easy peasy. We won the game in the end. It took 1,000 years, but we got there in the end. 6-5 score, 2 CP. Everybody's upset, everybody's angry. Yep, Really, this one. Oh, the Dragon Strike straight into the fucking ground. It worked out, but I mean, you know. Fury angry. Fury mad. Fury baby rage. Relatable. So, it was a really long game, and we're in Diamond, so there weren't that many recurring things, because at this point, I would expect anybody in Diamond to be, like, pretty good at the game, and it's just, like, smaller optimization things like the shield strats with Orisa. Hold on one moment. Let me just answer something happening over here. Okay, yep, video editing could happen, but, like, let's be real, that's not gonna happen. So, the shield strats with Orisa to try and maximize the efficient use of the cooldown right there. There was a fair bit of using our projected barrier predictively, which ended up not resulting in any charge for us. And building charge on Zarya is very important, because it makes everything else Zarya is trying to do easier. Yeah, like the shield strats, egg strats on the Bongo, in that one situation, and the projected barrier use. I put Mercy in the fucking title card, and she's in the video for like 5 entire seconds. Sorry, I lied to you about that one. Yeah, the projected barrier, because we struggled to generate a lot of charge as Zarya, which, to be fair, a lot of the situations we were in, they were going to be difficult to generate charge off of, especially with our Reinhardt being so suicidal. And, yeah, but we did struggle to generate charge. The biggest thing in this game would have been, like, if you're at all confident in ability to play Reinhardt, snipe it off the other Reinhardt after round 1. Because after round 1, I'm like, he's really fucking bad. I'm gonna take that one from him because, God, a bad Reinhardt can throw a game unlike anyone else. I would know. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us, and I hope you found the video helpful. Wasn't a very good video, if I'm going to be honest with you, but hopefully you did.